Recently, I've been exploring a lot what being a creator means to me and who I am as a creator. I think that this is an excellent lens. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmett and professionally I am a software developer, but in my free time I love landscape photography and making related videos here on YouTube. In today's video, I'm going to share my 6 core values as a creator. Recently, I've been exploring a lot what it means to be a creator to me and who I am as a creator. I've been seeking kind of my personal style and thinking about the type of content that I want to make and what I want it to look like. As part of that, I've been considering what my core values are as a creator. I already had a list of my core values as an individual, which I wrote last year and which are really kind of a guidepost for me in the directions that I take in my life. My 7 personal core values are kindness, challenge, mindfulness, creativity, faith, relationships, and financial security. Some of those certainly can relate to creativity and be a guide there, but I really wanted to make some core values specific to the creative part of my life and to guide kind of the types of projects that I take on. And today I wanted to help you create your own creative core values as well. It's actually fairly easy to write your personal core values because there are lots of lists online, and what you can actually do is just go through them and select the things that really resonate with you and use those as your core values. But when it comes to making your core values as a creator, you have to think about it a little bit harder. No need to worry though, because I'll give you some guidance on how to start thinking about that and share my own core values as an example with you. The first thing that you want to think about is the aspects of creating that you enjoy, because those will likely be items that you'll want to write your core values towards. So, for example, do you love the creative process? Is creating a form of self-care for you? Do you not care about that so much and maybe you just want really amazing results? Maybe your value is to have a lot of fun while you're creating, or maybe your value is to make amazing art even if that's really hard. Similar to that, think about the aspects of creating that you maybe don't like or that you want to try to avoid. And you can actually set values to avoid those things. So personally, I hate when I'm trying to force creativity or create something just for the sake of creating. I try to release my content on a regular schedule, but I hate when I'm in the situation of needing to create something to meet that schedule and just not feeling creative. That's guided the way that I schedule producing my content so that I can make extra content when I'm feeling like it, so that I don't have to make more things when I'm not feeling like it. Next, think about what value you want your content to add and create a core value around ensuring that your content is delivering that value. So do you want your content to be educational, thought-provoking, entertaining? Some mix of those. Set a value around that and then let that guide what projects you take on. Finally, think about what is important to you personally and your personal core values so that you can make sure that your creative life is true to your personal life. It's easy to make a value that says, be true to myself, but make sure that you really know what that means. I can go back and reference my personal core values of kindness, challenge, mindfulness, creativity, faith, relationships, and financial security and use those to ensure that something is true to me. But if I didn't have those, I really wouldn't actually know how to be true to myself. If you need further ideas, I would suggest that you think about people that you admire and anything that they've said that kind of resonates with you. For example, I have heard a lot of creators talk about how they make sure that at least sometimes they're making the type of content that they want to make and enjoy making, even though that sometimes doesn't perform as well when they put it out on whatever platform they share their content on, rather than always making whatever performs best for that platform online. To help you get started writing your core values, I'll go ahead and share my core values as a creator that I recently wrote. You might like some of these and want to copy them, or you might hate them all, and it might help you to realize things that you really don't care that much about. And either one of those things are totally fine with me. I won't be offended if you don't like them. This is just to give you some examples. My first core value is to be true to myself. My creative life is not in any way separate from my personal life. And so this first core value is really a reminder to maintain my personal core values while I'm being creative. If something doesn't adhere to those values or doesn't feel right to me, then I shouldn't do it. There might be things that, even though they would be perfectly fine projects for other creators, just aren't for me. And I don't want to feel pressured into doing that. My work is my own, and this first value is all about maintaining that. My second value is to have fun and enjoy the process. I think I've talked about this before, but it's really important to me to have a good time when I'm creating. We only live once, and so I think that it's really important to enjoy life as much as we can, and I want to make sure that I'm enjoying that process of creating. If I'm getting great results, but I'm not loving the process, I'd rather just change things up and enjoy myself. My hope, though, is that if I really like what I am doing, that will actually come through in the quality of my work. Third is to be creative. Be creative sounds like a strange inclusion in a list of creative core values, but when you make a lot of art, it can be easy to stop being creative and coming up with new ideas and just start doing the same thing all the time. Once you find something that works or a style you like, it makes sense to stick to it, and certainly everything doesn't have to look radically different. But I don't want to always falling into doing exactly the same thing either. I want to try new things, come up with new ideas, and actually make art, not just produce content that I know will perform well for the sake of making it. Fourth is to tell a story. There are, of course, lots of different types of content that can tell different stories. The story of this video is a narrative about the direction I have found in my life, and hopefully it'll be an inspiration for you. Other content might tell a fictional story, like this photo where I wanted to give an impression of a lumberjack having dropped their jacket and made some coffee. But this is really all about making sure that I'm thinking through some sort of meaning behind the content that I make, because I think that really brings it to life and makes it provide some value to the viewer because they can connect to it. And that's really important to me because that's the kind of content that I like to view. Next is to be fearless. That is easy to say and much harder to do. I certainly don't have any expectation that I will be totally confident about everything that I do, but what I'm really getting at here is that I don't want to avoid something that I'm interested in creating just because it's outside of my comfort zone. I'm afraid that other people won't like it, or I'm afraid that it won't turn out. I don't expect that I'll always feel fearless, but I don't want that to stop me from trying new things. And that leads me to my sixth and final core value as a creator, which is to keep learning. Similar to what I said about being creative, it's really easy to get good at something and just keep doing it forever, but I really want to make sure that I continue to learn new things. There are tons of creative skills, techniques, mediums, and genres to explore. A couple years ago, I hadn't even really explored video creation at all, but doing so opened up a whole new world of fun ways to create and share things that I've created. I don't know what the future might hold, but a lot of the fun for me is in the learning and growing to produce better content. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and were inspired with some ideas of what your core values as a creator might be. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss more things that I am really excited to share with you in the future. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.